It is your boy, or that is Craig. I'm doing things a wee bit different, just kind of tinkering around with something, so bear with me. But this is going to be very important. Something that I've had to learn over the last 24, 48 hours, and that is about spirits. I'm talking about possible negative, some people might call it demonic, what I would call it, but that's beside the point. Influences. And it's things that I've had to learn. It's not easy, I'll tell you that. I realize that I have no choice. Not truly. I've been having nightmares. I'm not going to go into those just yet. I might do a couple of videos on them. I don't know. I'm not sure how the Lord's wanting me to do that just yet, and I'd be make a move now, be my own arrogance and human, egotistical desires. That's not a good thing. I'm just going to leave it at this. I have some friends have reached out to me, good people. I'm not mentioning names because that's not what this is about. Matter of respect for them, I'm not going to. I'm just going to say this. My eyes have been opened of a few bad, potentially bad things that I was doing that I wasn't really thinking was bad. I'm talking about spirits of reaching out into things I didn't even know. I knew. I'd be lying to say I didn't know. I didn't think truly were occult, but they were. Now, for the most part, I've stopped doing that. Actually, completely. Actually, in all seriousness. Now that I've stopped that foolishness, the dreams, for the most part, have departed. There's a big burden that's been taken off my shoulders. And I have definitely rededicated myself to Christ as best I can. This is going to be a slow process, but I think that it is very important that people know, really, just the influence of what spirits have over people. It's not just your own mind. Make no mistake, mental illness is a very real thing. I'm never going to deny that. But also at the same time, how can I say this the best way? There are spirits of oppression. There are spirits of lust, spirits of, when you do things like even divining, things like this, it can bring negative things upon you. You see, I always thought that was kind of an extension of my own mind, but when it was really opened up to me, uh-uh. You leave yourself open for very negative things. And pretty much since I was like, oh, hell no, I've stopped that foolishness. There you go. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, addiction itself is a spirit. And I can attest to that. Very much so. The spirit of addiction is one of the most devastating spirits that you can come across. You guys already know that I've been addicted to my own medication in the past, as well as sometimes this. I admit that. Even though I have tried to cut back, and I've been somewhat successful, and sometimes I'm not so much. But there you have it. Even that in itself speaks volumes, man. I'm just saying, I figured this needed to be shared. It's important, very important. I've been thinking about it, and I kind of impulsively decided to do this, but at the same time, it just needs to be done. You need, if you're of the faith, you need to really, really pay attention to what could be occult or what could be considered. I'm not just talking about stuff you read. That's a big one, but games you play. Believe me, I've had to put away a few of my favorite games. Most likely for good. I can't say it's too soon for me to say anything right now because to do so would be a foolish thing. But for right now, that's what I see. Ironically, that was easier than the divining pendulum. That was easier than anything else. Yeah, in all seriousness. Crazy, huh? But the nightmares I was having were worse than anything I had in Houston, to be blunt. I was like, no, I ain't doing this shit no more. There are other things which can really open doorways, and that's just occult. That's the big one. Now, many people may think, I'm not practicing witchcraft. I'm not doing anything like that. It doesn't matter. Anything pertaining to magic can be considered a cult, even if it's entertainment. That is something I never thought about. I mean, I kind of did, but I just blew it off. Yeah, well, let me tell you, that in itself was a stinky mess that. Let's just not go there. There's a stinky hot mess. Believe me, I spent some money on some posters, hell, my own artwork. I haven't necessarily gotten rid of it yet because I haven't quite gotten the go ahead to do so. Because I feel like if I do that, I could be operating out of my own human arrogance. But that stuff was put away immediately, and most likely it will be destroyed. But I spent money on posters and stuff like Doctor Strange, Game of Thrones, all kinds of neat shit. Had to go. Had to go. And let me tell you, it sucked. It's out in the trash right out there. The other reason will stay. Sorry, man. My soul is more important than something I'm enjoying. You guys really need to understand that. You do what you need to. Your path is your own. I'm saying what mine is. And actually, since I've gotten rid of that stuff, it's helped me keep a clear mind, as well as do my work better. And that surprised the shit out of me. Real talk. The biggest weakness was not just video games. The sin of lust is a big one. Big time. When you have lust in you, and you're reading porn, for example, or doing something that you shouldn't be doing, when it comes to that, let me tell you something about it. Bear with me. My brain and mouth, as you guys know, is not always the best. But let's say pornography, right? What does that mean? To tell you what it is. I want to say it's Latin. Don't quote me on that. Take what I'm saying on that with a grain of salt. But I do know. I believe Latin. It comes from saying pornography. Ography means writing, or graphy, I think. Pornography is the writing of harlots. So it's not just, naughty videos and nudie magazines and stupid shit like that. It can be writing. Yes, big time, especially. See, I'm an avid reader. Always have been since I was a little boy. That ain't changed. Right there. You got to pay attention to that. That's a big, big, big doorway. This is bad, if not worse, than the occult, and that's a challenge for me. Let me tell you, I'm a man like anybody else, and that right there, I'm not used to being this open, but I figured I may as well. It'll help keep me in line to an extent. Damn cigar. But anyway, much better. But anyway, I'm just gonna get to the gist of it. That in itself is as dangerous as any poison, because through the flesh, especially through lust, I'll tell you something, man. Perversions, powerful, powerful perversions come in through the spirit of lust. And then you let other things come into your life. And that right there makes it a very dangerous thing. A person with mental illness is more vulnerable to such perversions as well. And I ain't gonna go into all that, there's no need. But I think it was Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones who said it the best. If a man doesn't accept his own flaws, then they can be used against him or something like that. I learned a long time ago to accept my flaws. And I can always turn them into advantages if I have to. What I mean by this is I learn from my mistakes. All the pretty verbiage aside, that's what I learned to do. It's very important, extremely important, that a person learn from their mistakes. But also, I'm going to say the most important thing right now. Just because you learn from it, don't mean you can fix it. That's right. What I'm saying is sounds awful negative, don't it? Man, I have all this, but I realize I can't fucking fix it. I can't. Nope. However, there is one who can. The Creator, the Father, the Son, the Spirit, God. Jehovah, Yeshua, what do you want to call him? I don't go into much pre-verbiage like many people do. Let's call him the Creator or the Father. But the fact is, a lot of it's a matter of semantics. What is important is you listen to Him and the Holy Spirit. And I promise you, I freaking promise you that there will be hard times coming for you. Believe me, these are challenges I'm facing. I've gotten rid of things that I have never done before, ever. I was never able to do it. Things I've had for 20 plus years, I've had to do it up. And to be honest, it was worth it. Getting rid of nightmares, the dreams, that stuff in my head. I thought I had left it, but I realize now that it come with me because it was all in here, in here. And what I mean by that, true, it was not my own being. Some of it was. I made choices. But at the same time, it wasn't. It was very, very much something sinister and external. It was the adversary, the enemy, and his forces. I see most things not as black and white, but in this case, I have to. I just want to put that out there, what I've learned and what I've had to give up. And I plan on continuing doing what I do more now than ever. I just want to put that out there. Keep me in your prayers, and believe me, I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. I figured this needed, I know it's a little longer than usual, and I don't give a damn. This is important. But either way, you guys know what I do. My email is westvic at IamDarkWaters.com. If you had a sighting of anything, let me know about it. I'll make sure that you get your story told, as well as the chance to have yourself heard. You guys be blessed, and you be sad.